Well, welcome back to Tough Men of Faith.
What's up, RT? How you doing?
I don't know. We're sitting here talking about some Wagyu beef.
Dude, steaks. You ready?
So that's getting. I was telling you I'm getting another cow tomorrow, and
Yeah. So, you got to go to the butcher and pick that up?
yeah.
You don't get the whole cow.
Well, I mean, I get the whole cow.
Yeah.
It's not mooing.
Do you get the exotic cuts? Like, do you get the tongue and the heart and
I
stuff?
get the tongue, the liver,
Okay.
the heart.
Do you eat that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Like tongue tacos?
I've never done.
I
I've
heard
never done the tongue.
I heard it tastes like grass. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I got the tongue. I haven't the tongue in the freezer from the last time we got a cow. I haven't prepared it yet.
Yeah, I don't care that much about the tongue.
Okay.
I don't mind the liver. You like liver?
No, I don't think I do.
You ever had liver?
Yeah, I've had like livers and gizzards and stuff.
Liver and
does
onions?
that count? No. I'm out.
Man, I go over to MCL, a little restaurant here, and get some liver and onions.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Huh. Okay. No, that's where I draw the line. I cook that stuff for people I don't like when they come over.
Well, I don't know.
We get the Wagyu, and
yeah.
I cook the liver and the tongue for my in-laws. Just kidding, Sherry. Yep.
Well, anything else going on today?
No, not really, man. We're getting ready to go on vacation. I haven't taken one in a while.
Yeah.
I think the last one was with you, actually. So
that's when we still got a freezer full of fish after that.
Yeah, I got a little bit of fish left. We need to do that again. We need to go fishing.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, we catch 60 fish in an hour.
It gets bigger every time we say it. So
it's just like a fishing story.
I know we hit our limit on, what did we start catching at the beginning?
Yellowtail snapper.
We hit our limit in about half hour.
Yeah.
For 4 of us. So, yeah.
I think it was like, 15 apiece or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, we caught like 60.
Yep.
Anyway, that was cool.
Yeah, it was. Well, here we go today.
All right, what are we doing?
We're going to look, it probably may end up taking 2 episodes.
Okay.
The topic will be something like 10 things I wish I'd known when I graduated from high school.
Oh, dude.
Or maybe 10 things I would tell someone graduating from high school.
How do we just narrow it down to 10?
I don't know. We were texting today about some random things.
Yeah.
I started thinking about it because I have a daughter graduating from high school this year. I was talking to a couple guys that's getting ready to graduate from high school a couple of weeks ago. So getting close to that season. And
yeah,
I started thinking back. It's like, man, there's some things I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Not that I would have listened to someone tell me.
I wish I would have just invested in, Amazon.
Amazon would have been the one, right?
Can you imagine Amazon in 2003 when shares, were $2.86 a share? That would have been cool.
Yeah, but if you had $1,000 back then,
yeah,
what would you have bought with that?
Not anything I want to talk about here.
I did a sermon the other day on finances or something. It's like when I graduated from high school, in 99, it's like I could have put $1,000 in Amazon stock, and I figured up how many millions I'd be right now. It's like, but instead I probably would have bought, I think it was like the PlayStation whatever that came out that year, and a DVD player.
I think I bought a stereo system for my Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
it wasn't a wise investment.
No. Well, hopefully you learn from it, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I probably won't buy another one.
So here we go. Just like 10 random things. And of course, there could be 50 things we could add to this list.
Oh yeah.
And so that's something we're going to do. I think on the social media posts, we throw this out there. Encourage the listeners, like, hey, comment below with things that you would add to this list.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Get some interaction going.
Yeah. Kind of curious how other people's answers would differ from ours.
Yeah. How about this one?
Yeah.
Life doesn't go according to plan.
Just don't make a plan.
Well, I don't know about that.
Maybe that's where I fell short there. Is I didn't make a plan.
Oh, you didn't have a plan at all?
I kind of had a plan. I was going to go work for my dad's company and retire by the time I hit 35.
Yeah.
I went to work for the company. I did not retire when I hit 35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 40.
Maybe 40. We'll see.
No, but I think when we graduate from high school, we got these big plans.
Yeah.
Like, here's exactly what I'm going to do in life. And we tell everybody about it, and we're really prideful in it. There's Proverbs 16:9, in the hearts human plan their course, but the Lord establishes the steps.
Yeah.
So God's in control. There's going to be a lot of factors come into your life. So you may have this great plan.
Yeah.
It may not go.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
But I think them being okay with it.
God laughs at man's plans.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But knowing that there's going to be some failures, there are going to be some setbacks.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged and just stop going forward.
But maybe make a plan. And,
make a plan.
And try and push in that direction.
Yeah, I think you should have a plan, a vision, a goal, where you're going, but it may change because at 18, you think you have it all figured out sometimes.
Man, it's crazy.
At 22, you think you may have figured out.
I think about that too. Like I know some doctors and, a couple like dentists and attorneys and stuff like that. And it's like those guys kind of picked their career path when they were, middle school.
Yeah.
And to think that, when they're 13 years old, they set something in their mind, their parents made them stick to it, for the next 7, 8, 10, 12 years, whatever, and pushed them in that direction.
Yeah.
And extremely jealous of those guys. Now, not jealous, maybe a little envious, but, those guys' lives are quite a bit different than, the construction worker life. But, it kind of goes back to that old saying, to work hard now and play later, or play now and work hard for forever. So,
yeah. Number 2.
Yeah, what you got?
Take responsibility for your actions.
Yeah.
I think the earlier you learn this, the better.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, when we look at Scripture, it expects us to take responsibility for our actions. And then you become an adult. I mean, Scripture even says the one who is unwilling to work shouldn't eat. Like, you need to be, like, responsible for making some money and
be
providing.
responsible.
And if, as a man, right, you get married, you have children, like, you're responsible for your household.
Yeah.
You need to take responsibility for that.
Yeah. I need to see this list, what you got over there, because I got some things floating around upstairs, too.
Didn't I send this to you?
No, I didn't get the list.
Yes, I did.
Did you really?
Pull up the text. We're about to find out who's right. Live on air.
I didn't know it was a finished list.
Well, when we were going to finish it, as we're just talking.
All right, cool.
All right. Take responsibility for your action.
Yeah. I got the list. You did send it.
I know. I'm just waiting for you to take responsibility to say, I'm sorry, RT. You sent me that list.
Come on, Archie. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. Well, some things we have to learn later in life.
Yeah.
Number 3. Would you even put this one on your list, number 3?
Yeah.
Listen to your parents.
Yeah. And they've already done it. And like, I always thought that my dad was like so out of touch with in high school in the 70s. And, I'm in high school in the early 2000s. I'm like, dude, you don't know what's going on in the real world. Like, you're out of touch. Nope. I wish I had listened a little better to people that had already messed up and lived life a little harder than they had to.
Well, Ephesians 6:1 says, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Then honor your father and your mother.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop just because you turn 18
exactly
or graduate,
right?
right? Even more so, you need to be listening to your parents because they can save you from some real trouble in life.
Yeah, real trouble.
And not just, parents, obviously, yes, but I think you need to make sure you're getting some wise counsel.
Yeah, just older people in general, people that have already lived it. And, some of them might be a little bit out of touch, but for the most part, I bet they're showing you the right way to go.
This is where I see a lot of young men messing up. Is like they graduate from high school and then they're no longer asking anyone for advice. Where what you see all through Scripture is like you need a mentor, you need someone pouring into you, and you think just because the United States says you're an adult now, you can go do what you want.
Right.
So they're taking out credit cards, they're buying new cars, they're with women, all these things.
It's funny they start living without structure.
Yeah.
And you think about like school, for instance, like there's so much structure there. Like it's, you come in at the same time, you go to your classes, you go to lunch at the same time, and there's structure there and then you get a little bit of freedom away from that structure. And it took me years to put structure back into my life as a priority because I enjoyed that freedom.
Well, that leads into number 4.
Yeah. What you got?
The sooner you learn to live with discipline, the better.
So number 4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You must have changed the order.
I changed some order up probably.
Gotcha.
The sooner you learn to live with discipline, the better.
Yeah, you need some discipline. We all need discipline.
Yeah, because you talked about that. You come out of high school, maybe you have some structure at home, maybe you don't, but then it's like, I'm going to do what I want.
Right. Well, you at least have structure at school, for that, 8 or 10 hours a day. And, you have coaches that are coaching you and leading you, and you have, teachers that are, trying to push you and make you grow up and push you out into the world, and then you're pushed out into the world. It's like you flew the nest, and it's kind of sink or swim at that point.
Yeah, there's 1 Corinthians 9, I think it's verse 26, that says that, but I discipline my body to keep it under control.
Yeah.
That's just a great passage, like to try to get that early in life that you've got to discipline your body to get it under control. Because the natural thing is going to be to be lazy, to sleep in, to not work, to not worry about things.
Yeah.
But you've got to learn to be disciplined in your spiritual life.
Yep.
And really all areas.
Yep, I agree.
And the sooner you can figure that out, the better.
Yeah, right? For sure.
Because it took me a while I was probably closer to my late 20s.
Yeah, me too.
Before I really became fairly disciplined person, and probably mid-30s before I really got disciplined under where I got my morning schedule down. And it makes all the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
My days go fairly well now because they're pretty planned out. Like the night before, I've reviewed my calendar.
Yeah.
All my clothes are laid out. My food's laid out. I'm going to eat. It's actually prepped on Sunday. Everything's ready to go.
Nice.
And, the day's just kind of planned, and so it can lead me to focus on getting stuff done, getting after it.
A little bit of discipline, a little bit of structure goes a long way.
Yeah, and it just gives you like more flexibility in life. Like when you have that discipline.
And then you can deviate a little bit.
You can.
And, it's not such a big wrench in the plans, and, it doesn't really screw up too much because you've already prepared, so far ahead.
Yeah. So I think with discipline, like read about it, read some books on it. Talk to some guys who are disciplined and like do everything you can to get that early on.
Yep.
That's going to help in every area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've done whole episodes on discipline, and I've mentioned the book by Jocko one time, like Discipline Equals Free or Extreme Ownership.
Jocko Willink?
Yeah, it talks about discipline equals freedom.
I've listened to his podcast quite a bit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It is.
Yeah, his podcasts, they're good, but he interviews a lot of military guys, and it's long format, so it's like 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, and less filtered.
Yeah.
You know, but it's still good.
It's good, and a lot of what he talks about is discipline and the importance of it. And that helped me tremendously.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of his stuff, and then really just being around guys that are disciplined.
Well, and you know, we bring this up quite a bit, but kind of getting plugged in with the church and a church family too, and it kind of fits into the discipline. But man, I wish I had gotten plugged in a lot sooner in life. I think it would have helped shape me a little earlier on. Yeah, you know, just like you, for instance, like you've been in church for I don't know, the last 40 years. Yeah. Whereas I haven't been, you know, maybe the last 8 or 10. And I wish I had gotten plugged in a little sooner.
Well, I think even if you get plugged in a church, you've got to find yourself around some disciplined guys at that church. Right. Because there's some lazy dudes at church.
There are some lazy dudes.
So if you're a lazy dude, you may just find yourself around the other lazy dudes at church. But the discipline, I think, like the reason I think it's so important is because it's every area of your life. Yeah. So once I got discipline down, like that helped me with finances. It helped me with fitness. It helped me with friends. It helped me with my spiritual walk. Right. All that's tied to it. Because if you're lazy.
If you're lazy, you're not going to do any of it.
Right. It's like I'm going to watch TV and scroll through social media.
Play video games.
Yeah. But if you're disciplined, video games like, hey, I'm going to play from this time to this time.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not that they're wrong. Set yourself a calendar and then stick to it. But, you know, it's I think we talked about that before. You're kind of screwing up the order, you know, and putting things before, you know, family and putting things before God and putting things before yourself and, you know, just doing the things that you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it, and it just screws everything up.
Yeah, I think you got to get that discipline. And for me, I think you've got to learn to own your mornings when it comes to discipline. Yeah. You've got to get up early. Right. You've got to, now I know the work schedules can look different. You may work third shift or something.
What's your morning routine look like? You don't have to give us all the details.
Okay. So every morning at 4:55, Karen's alarm goes off, my wife. So now I'm usually awake by then, I think I'm usually awake. So I usually hear, and a lot of times she shuts it off even before it comes on. Okay. She'll turn the light on and start reading. So she reads first half hour as soon as she wakes up in the morning. So I'll usually read some then as well. Yeah. And then 5:30, I start stretching. I make coffee. I do a pour over every morning. Nice.
You like your pour over?
I do. This kind of helps like wake me up. Yeah. And I enjoy it. And she leaves at a few minutes before 6. Okay. So at 6, there's usually already some guys in my garage. Nice. So when she walks out the garage to go, there's already guys in the garage ready to work out. Gotcha. So we'll work out from 6 to 6:45. Okay. I'll see the kids from 6:45 to 7:15, 7:15 to 7:30's reading some more. Yeah. And then usually a quick shower and try to be in the office before 8. Okay. So
I mean, you have a pretty good schedule and pretty good routine.
Like, and I don't budge from it.
Yeah, you don't deviate far from that.
And for me, it's habit now. Like it's not difficult just because I've done it so long. So if we go to a hotel, because we travel some, same schedule. Okay, cool. Fridays and Saturdays, same schedule. Okay. It's just nice. Yeah, it's just kind of
that's cool.
Built in. But it took to get that discipline, like to be able to get that routine down, it took years. Okay. Right? It didn't come easy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree.
How about you?
I used to wake up at 6:30, 6:45 and be at work by 7.
Yeah. Yep.
And in recent years, that's completely changed. Now it's 5:15 every day. Alarm goes off. I get up, let the dogs out, make an espresso. Yeah. Usually while the espresso's doing its thing, I'm, reading my devotional and reading, a verse or two out of the Bible and then have my espresso. And usually I make one more. And then, I really just kind of get dressed and get my day started. Try to be out the door by 6:30.
I have to start mine the night before or it doesn't go well. So the night before I have my workout clothes laid out. Yep. I have the coffee beans. I grind them up the night before. Yeah. Everything's like set up, like where I just go like step to step to step till I find myself in the garage working out. Gotcha. And then from there, my clothes are laid out for what I'm going to wear. My towel's laid out for the shower. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of do the same thing. But it took a while to get there.
I make my lunch for the next day, the night before, and same thing, grind coffee beans and, kind of get everything laid out. And my wife just laughs at me, but, she thinks it's a little over the top, but it just, it works for me. So,
yeah, the only thing Karen laughs at me about and the girls is that I usually lay out like 3 outfits. Do you? They make fun of me for it.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know what I'm going to wear the next day.
You're going to change your mind in the morning.
So I got 3 of them laid out and ready to go.
So, something sounds good, Thursday night, but Friday morning comes around and, there's a different RT waking up.
But I was thinking, like, if I would have had that discipline at 18, 19, 21, right? It'd make a big difference in
We'd be conquering the world right now.
Conquering the world, yep. So let's cover one more
All right.
today, and then next week jump into the last 5.
All right.
The last one we already kind of started talking about is physical fitness is important.
Yeah.
Like getting a routine for that.
Yep. That's been a new one for me. Within the last, 8 months or a year. I think you called me out in a former episode, and you're like, "Hey, fatty, you need to get in the gym." It was more or less, "Hey, fatty," is what you said, and you're like, "Man, you just need to get back in shape again." So yeah, but it's been a good thing for me too. I like having some friends to call me out because it's actually got me back in 3 or 4 nights a week. Yeah, working out for a good half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think what happens is when you're young, your metabolism works really fast, and
you
don't have to work out every day. You're probably a little bit more active, and then you get a job where you're at a desk, and you may have some kids, and you're sitting around a lot more.
Or your metabolism just slows down.
It slows down. You're eating more. Yeah. You're eating maybe more fast food.
You're eating more comfort food.
Comfort food, more little
Big Deborahs.
Big Deborahs. And then all of a sudden, you look and it's been 10 years, and you haven't done anything physically, and you go outside to try to play soccer with your kid, and you're so winded you can barely move.
Yep.
So I think if you develop that habit early on instead of trying to get it when you're in your 40s, it makes a big difference.
But I heard somebody say to a guy once, you need to get in shape. That way you're alive to walk your daughter down the aisle. And kind of made me start thinking about my dad a little bit and how he didn't get to walk my sister down the aisle. And he passed away before that. And it's not that he was in bad shape, but it's just like stress. It just, it just killed him. It's like you start putting all that into perspective, and it's like, man, I don't want to go early. I don't want to die at 55, 60 years old. I want to live a lot longer than that. And I need to get in shape now because it's going to be a whole lot harder in my 50s or 40s to get into shape than it would be in my 30s. Yeah. And, it's not going to get any easier.
There's never an easy time to start that, right? When you're 18, you're like, well, I don't really have time. I'm starting college. I'm going into the workforce. I don't want to get up early. It's like, you just get busier. Right. I always thought like the next stage in life, I won't be as busy. When I get out of high school, I won't be as busy. When I get out of college, I won't be as busy. When I get this job.
I have so much more time and money.
It's never happened. Now I find myself at a season now. I keep thinking when I get out of the military here in a couple of years, I won't be as busy. Yeah. But the truth is I'll probably find something to replace it, right? And I'll be just as busy, if not busier. So yeah.
Maybe you'll become a gym rat then. You'll spend half your day in the gym.
I don't. Do you enjoy working out?
Some things I enjoy doing. Yeah. Like, I enjoy lifting weights and stuff, and even a little bit of, like, cardio stuff I enjoy, but no, for the most part, I don't love it. Yeah. It's okay. But
I don't.
I like to see results. Yeah. But no, I don't enjoy working out, per se. Mm-hmm.
I work out with these two guys who are, like, bigger than me, like a lot more muscle than I have.
Okay, so, gotcha.
We're doing, like, when we're bench pressing, or today we're doing shoulder presses, and I always feel bad because they put the heavy weights on, then they put the sissy weights on for me.
Then they lift you up.
Yeah, they make jokes like, hey, do you want me to lift you while you're lifting the weights? You did that to me today. I was walking up some steps.
Man, I was just kidding.
Carrying a bunch of stuff. He's like, hey, do you want me to help you? I was like, no. He's like, well, do you want me to just carry you while you're carrying that stuff?
Man, I was actually scared you were going to trip on the cords. You were like dangling the cords behind you, and I was scared you were going to trip on them. Yeah. And I started thinking, I was like, I only have one friend that's a pastor, and I don't want to lose him. And then, the church that we go to, I don't want to lose the pastor there because, then you're going to need me. And I make a joke all the time about preaching on Sundays, but it's a joke. It's not a real thing. And I thought about you. I was thinking about you there. Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this one up.
All right.
Producer Blake said to mention that something about the shirts.
We ordered the T-shirts. He ordered them because, we wouldn't have gotten it done. We would have talked about it for another 6 months. And he ordered them, and I think they're a couple weeks out, maybe 2 weeks out. So if you want a Tough Men of Faith shirt, I think they're olive green with the Tough Men of Faith logo on the front. Yeah. Pretty cool. And if you want one, just message him on the Facebook or message the Tough Men of Faith on the Facebook, and he can get you the details. I forget what he said, $20-something-ish in shipping or something. I don't remember exactly the details, so don't quote me on that, but it's a ballpark.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, you already have one. I don't.
Yeah,
have
I got one. I got one to try out. Okay. To see if it was good, and it was pretty good. So yeah.
All right. Well, make sure to put in the comments like things you would add to this list.
Oh yeah, what would you add to this list?
What would you add to the list that you wish you'd known at 18 or when you graduated from high school?
Yeah. So. Or when you graduated college. Is there something then that might change from when you graduated high school that you wish you would have?
Yeah, and maybe share this episode with someone who's getting ready to graduate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a good week.
See you next week.